The side of the Define XL removes easily, 2 thumb screws, and then swings open and removes. That's a great boon when you're doing wire routing or anything else rather than having to slide it into place. Taking a look at the inside of the panel, it's completely lined with acoustic material. It's almost completely dead. The Moduvent system is clearly visible. This piece is removable by way of 4 screws and will open up the space for a side intake fan. You can hear the panel's completely dead acoustically. Looking inside, you can see that there are 3 completely separate chambers inside of the Define XL. The interior of the Define XL is sectioned off into 3 areas. You have your top area, your motherboard, you can put your hard drives up here, optical discs. Below it, an entirely separate section for the power supply unit, and a front section for 6 hard disk drives. Looking at the back corner of the Define XL, we see a 180mm top exhaust fan, a 140mm rear exhaust fan. Both do exhaust out the rear of the unit. The top fan is angled with the exhaust point in the rear. Moving down, see the 7+1 expansion slots. 7 standard slots, plus 1 slot on the side, perfect place for your fan controller or USB riser. All the expansion slots are in fact tool free and use just a thumb screw to hold them in. Moving up front, coming out from behind the hard disk drive cage, you see all your motherboard connectors, reset button, front I/O, power button, USB ports. Top optical disk drives, not tool free, use standard screw patterns. Hard disk drive cage for 4 hard disks. This is tool free, at least as far as taking the hard drive in and out. Mounts into the tray. Tray has 4 rubber grommets for vibration dampening, which the hard drive will screw into. And then will just slide right into place, clicking and locking. This hard disk cage is removable if you're going to be using only the bottom hard disk cage. This is going to be necessary if you're using a larger GPU, an NVIDIA 590, an AMD 6990. Once again, tool free, comes right out. And as you can see, there's a 140mm fan right there. Putting it back in is just as easy. Slides right into place. 2 thumb screws. And the cage is back into place. On the bottom of the Define XL, we find the power supply chamber. Cut out for the power supply, with rubber padding for less vibration, 4 rubber feet for the power supply to sit on, and a nice large opening in the motherboard tray to run all your power through. Front bottom of the Define XL has a chamber for 6 hard disks. Once again, tool-free installation as far as the brackets, but the hard disks do have to be screwed onto the bracket. Moving to the back of the motherboard tray of the Define XL, we see that there's plenty of room between the motherboard tray and the side of the case for cable routing. You're not going to have too much of a problem with pinching wires or thick wires not being able to fit. Plenty of cutouts from the power supply chamber to the motherboard chamber, all with grommets, all clean. One up top for your 4-pin or 8-pin motherboard connector. Plenty of access to the back of the hard drives. And a very interesting feature right here. Taking out the thumb screw. Flip down door. Very important for mounting backplates for CPU coolers. If you've ever had a problem with a small cutout and not being able to mount a backplate, you're not going to have that problem here. It's the biggest cutout I've ever seen for a backplate.